First of all, well done, congrats. You were seated there 3 days ago after the India loss, and someone asked you how the team was going to come back against this England team. And you said, I'm going to paraphrase, but you said it's cricket, anything can happen. What does this mean for the boys, and how do you feel right now?
I think it'll take a while, or hopefully it takes a little bit, it sinks in pretty quickly because we've got to move on quite quickly as well. We've got a game in Chennai in 3 days. Um, but I think it's important that the guys enjoy it, but also take stock and realize when they get a certain amount of things right in the 50 overs or the 100 overs completely, what they can achieve and the team that the level of team that they can put under pressure and compete with and win cricket matches. So, don't want to get too far ahead. We played three and one. But looking forward to getting to Chennai and rolling up our sleeves and getting cracking there.
Anayatul Hakasini from BBC Afghan. This match must be received very with happiness back in Afghanistan and also bring some relief to the cricket team, particularly in the backdrop of natural disaster in Afghanistan.
Mm. Well, I think, and that's what I said. I think I was here yesterday or the day before, I can't remember, and saying, that it's not just cricket that the guys are playing for. The guys are very knowledgeable of the things and the hardship that some people are going through because of the natural disaster and for various other reasons. And so if this can give a smile to people's faces anywhere in the world, but also encourage boys and girls to pick up a cricket bat or a cricket ball and get playing cricket wherever they are in Afghanistan, then that's the sort of the goal that's been achieved, and that's great, and grow the game and the publicity and the exposure that the side's going to give the country, but also the sport.
Sorry. Yeah, you've spoken before about how sometimes this team emotionally can get a bit too high or too low, those extremes. So how do you manage what you can imagine would be a massive high for them for this? How do you go about that, dealing with the team?
I'm very keen not to put a dampener on things or tell them to sort of just focus on the next game. I think it's important, certainly moments like this. I know from my career or my experience, I never soaked up enough or enjoyed moments. I'm certainly going to say to the guys, enjoy tonight and, spend the time together, whatever you want to do. But as soon as we land in Chennai, then in sort of 18 hours, 12 hours time, whatever it is, then we switch on for the next game and it's back to business. So it's important you celebrate your victories because they're so hard and, they're always such a challenge. So that'll be my message tonight to the guys when I get back to the dressing room and make sure when we get to that first training session the day before our game in Chennai that we're fully focused.
Jyoti, could I just ask you to speak a bit about Gurbaz's innings and particularly the way he came out and put England under pressure up top in the power play?
And it was amazing, wasn't it? The shots that he plays and the start that he can give us. Often I say to Gurbaz, if you 30 or 40, I'm not worried at all because you can catch it up at any stage, and we can see certainly on good wickets, opening the batting and the balls fairly hard. He plays spin and he plays seam so well. And the longer he bats, the more chance we have of winning. That's what I say to him as well. So, fantastic talent, a real interesting character. And for him, the amount of talent he has, certainly the sky is the limit. It's just about, him, getting the best out of himself day in, day out.
Hi, Todd. So you have mentioned Chennai twice now, and now you'll be playing New Zealand, who have already won three out of three. And I'm not playing as a dampener, but do you think you'll be able to overcome them? And the second question is, you'll be playing two matches in Chennai. You have played two in Delhi. You'll be playing two in Chennai. So does that help?
Well, I think certainly. I think it's certainly in a competition like this where you're moving around a lot. You don't have to move. There's no travel, for tiredness or for, you become familiar with the pitch as well. Um, but not to say, that first game in Chennai and, we'll have a look and then we'll only try and win the second game. We're there to try and win both games. So I think that's the mentality. New Zealand are playing really well. They're a good side. They had a great series against England, a very competitive series. So, I know that they will, fancy themselves and they'll probably be the favorites, but we don't mind. That's okay.
Trotty, hi. There's been a lot of talk about the way that England have kind of dominated white ball cricket over the last sort of 5 years or so. But did you get a sense when you were kind of coming into this game that there were areas that you could exploit, that there were areas of weakness that maybe they hadn't, and did your players exploit them in the way that maybe you wanted them to?
Well, we knew what we wanted to do. It's not so much, exploiting anything. It's a case of if we do these things consistently right, then, that'll give us the best chance. I think it helped us a little bit. The wicket was spinning.